He lost everyone, but still choose to live. What do you do when the one person you trusted the most becomes the reason for your greatest pain? This is not a story about a villain. This is a story about a man who gave everything and received nothing in return. If you have ever felt truly alone, stay with me until the end because this story is for you. Some people cry loudly, but some people cry quietly, where no one can see them. Raghav was one of those people. His life was never simple. In fact, it started with pain. Raghav lost both of his parents in a car accident when he was 9 years old. That evening he was sitting near the door waiting for them. He was hungry, but he didn't eat because his mother had always said, "We will eat together." He waited for a long time and then he fell asleep. Late at night, someone knocked on the door. He ran quickly, thinking his parents had come. But when he opened the door, there were some strangers. They told him about the accident. He didn't fully understand the words, but he understood the truth. His parents were gone. That night, many people came to the house. Everyone was crying, but Raghav didn't cry loudly. Instead, his pain was bottled up, silent. As he tried to process the shock, he just sat in a corner holding his mother's clothes. From that day on, he was alone. Life got really difficult as he grew older. No one woke him up. No one asked if he had eaten. No one cared if he was exhausted. He started working at a young age. At times, he would work all day and still go to bed hungry. Even when he was sick, he didn't stop because he knew one thing: if he stopped, everything would stop. Slowly, with a lot of hard work, he built a small life. He opened a shop, saved money, built a small house. After many years, he got married. Her name was Dia. She came into his life like the first rain after a long drought. She laughed easily. She listened carefully. She made him feel as if he deserved good things for the first time in a long while. For the first time since he was 9 years old, Raghav stopped eating alone. They got married quietly. No grand ceremony, just two people, a few witnesses, and a lot of hope. And then came the children, a son and a daughter. If you had seen Raghav's face the first time he held his son, you would have understood everything. Every sleepless night, every bruised hand, every meal he had skipped. All of it was worthwhile. His house was full of noise now, beautiful and wonderful. He thought, "I am not alone anymore." He thought, "This is what I was fighting for." He thought, "This is my family. They will never leave." But he was wrong. It started slowly, the way most betrayals do. Not with a fight, not with shouting, but with silence. Dia stopped asking how his day was. She stopped sitting with him at dinner. She started keeping her phone's screen down on the table. Raghav noticed, but he told himself, "She is tired and I am busy. These things happen." Then she started came the late nights at home. "I am at my sister's house. My friend needed me. You wouldn't understand me. Raghav, you are always working." He started working harder. He thought if he made more money, built a bigger house and gave her a better life, everything would be fine. He bought her jewelry she never wore. He planned a trip she cancelled. He cooked her favorite meal on their anniversary. She didn't come home until midnight. And still he said nothing because he was terrified. Terrified that if he asked the question out loud, he would have to hear the answer. One day Raghav came home early. He thought he would spend time with his family. But when he entered the house, it felt strange, too quiet. He looked around. Some clothes were missing. His heart started beating fast. Then he saw a letter on the table. His hands were shaking. When he opened it, it said that his wife had left him. She had left him for another man, a wealthy individual who enjoyed a life of luxury. In that moment, he didn't shout, He didn't cry loudly. He just sat down, holding that letter again and again. After a few days, he went to meet his children. He stood outside the door for a long time. He was scared. Finally, he knocked. The door opened. His children were there, but they didn't hug him. They didn't smile. They just said, "We are okay here." That one sentence broke his heart completely. The door closed and Raghav stood there, alone again. Now his house was big but empty. He would sit at the dining table with empty chairs around him. Sometimes he cooked food and then realized there was no one to eat with him. At night he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking, "Why does everyone leave me?" One night he sat in the dark and cried silently, like a man who has no one left. The next day, he went out for no reason. He kept walking until he reached a small park. He sat on a bench, exhausted and lost. An old man was sitting there. The old man looked at him and said, "You look very tired. Not from work, but from life." Raghav didn't say anything. After some time, the old man spoke again. "Tell me what happened." At first, Raghav stayed silent, but slowly he started talking. He told everything about his parents, his struggles, his wife and his children. And then he said softly, "I built everything, but still lost everything." The old man listened quietly. Then he said, "No, you didn't lose everything." Raghav looked at him. The old man continued, "You lost people, but you didn't lose yourself." Raghav stayed silent. The old man said one more thing. "When you were a child, you had nothing. Still you survived. Now you have experience, strength and courage. So why do you think you cannot live again?" Those words were simple, but they touched Raghav deeply. For the first time, someone understood his pain. That day, Raghav didn't suddenly become strong. His pain didn't disappear, but something changed inside him. A small thought came to his mind. Maybe I can still live. The next morning, he woke up, made tea, sat alone, but this time he accepted it. He opened his shop again, started working slowly. Day by day, step by step, he started rebuilding his life. Not for his wife, not for his children, but for himself. Raghav's story is not about getting everything back. It is about not giving up, even after losing everything. Because sometimes life doesn't leave you with people, it leaves you with yourself. And in that moment, you have to decide whether you will break or start again. So that's the end of today's story. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this story, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps me bring more stories like this to you. Share this video with your friends and family who love English stories. Tell me in the comments, did you like this story? What did you learn from it? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next story. Take care.